Hello there. The discussion between short-term and long-term thinking and the balance between urgency and importance has been a topic of discussion for many years when it comes to productivity. But it's also a really crucial factor when it comes to where we spend our marketing dollars and how we grow our brand and sustain our profits into the future. How do we get that balance right? Stay tuned. Hey there, Ian here, and it's a pleasure to be able to be with you. I hope this is catching you happy, healthy, and strong. In the workshops and seminars that we do around the region, I ask this question: how would you rate customer service? And no matter where and when I've done this, I haven't had a single person raise their hand and say, I think customer service in general, across industries, is really good. Now, my question would be then, how did we wind up in this situation? And again, I've never had anyone to say, in general, they think customer service in their region is really good. How did we get to this stage? And it really has to be, if that is the opinion, that we are too focused on customer acquisition, but not focused enough on keeping our customers once we've acquired them. But how has it got that way? It's quite easy to see why. In the short term, it's very easy to prove things and get the credit for them. You can say quite easily that we spent this amount of money on a marketing campaign, $1,000. We got 10 qualified leads. We got 2 customers from that campaign, and they each spent $5,000. $1,000 ad spend or marketing campaign spend, and $10,000 in revenue, from which we made $3,000 of profit. So $1,000 spent, $3,000 in profit. Proof that that marketing campaign was a success. It's easy to prove. It's also easier to get the credit for it. It was my idea. And for human beings, getting the credit for something is very important. It's a very, very human factor. We like to allocate something that we did that produced a good result. It's also easier to prove that we've made savings. For example, how many chatbots and articles and FAQs have you seen or interacted with when it comes to a problem? In not every case, but in many cases, an FAQ, frequently asked questions page, or a chatbot addresses every problem that you don't have. You have one specific problem that doesn't fit into this category, and if only you could talk to someone, it would take 30 seconds to address your problem and you'd be happy. So these efficiencies are easier to prove. We have removed call center agents. We don't have to pay the person this much. We've automated, therefore we've saved this money, without regard to the customer experience at the end of it all. So it's easy to see how we've wound up in this situation where customer acquisition is very popular for those reasons, but retention doesn't get enough love and resources. So what is the problem? Because there's a challenge with thinking longer term. So the challenge is really that it takes a long time. Long-term thinking, long-term results take longer to show up. It's not as easy to prove, and it's not as easy to get the credit for those ideas. So data acquisition has become more efficient and better than it ever has been, and it will get even better. We can very, very clearly collect the number of leads, the number of discussions we had, the number of clients that came on board, what they spent, where they spent it, how frequently they interact with us. All that data we have. But matching that data to a particular initiative that's only going to pay off over the long term is much more difficult. For example, I learned about a company that makes washing machines and dishwashers and cookers, kitchen white goods, and they deliver their own products. And whenever there was children in the house when they delivered it, they left a little bear, a little toy with their brand name on it. Now, how can you prove that profits were improved because they left a bear behind? What is the cost benefit analysis when it comes to leaving a bit of merchandise along with your delivery? It's very, very hard to prove that the results came from that particular initiative. So the challenge is with long-term thinking that the results take longer to show up and they're less deterministic. It's less easy to allocate what you did with that result. So how do we balance the two? How do we work out where we allocate our resources? Well, of course, we need to do both. We need a short-term plan to get to the long term. We need a today to get to tomorrow. So we need to do both. But what I would encourage you to do is to work out what your brand really stands for. I did mention this in a previous sharing, but it's important to know what your brand stands for. And when it comes to any cost allocation or an efficiency improvement, consider how it affects the customer experience. And if you're looking at making a cost saving and it negatively or is likely to negatively affect the customer experience, think very carefully, because you could be making a short-term efficiency and cost-saving improvement, but you might be crippling your long-term profits as a result. So short-term customer acquisition is great and we need to do it, but do think about what you stand for and think of the long tail, think of the customer experience and all of the profits that you can bank over the longer term when you are allocating your costs. So I really hope that gave you some ideas to think about. The key thing is, what do you stand for? And many people can deliver the essence of what you do, whether you are a restaurant, a service provider, whether you're in the professional services game, whatever you're doing, my bet is that many people can do what you do. In essence, the experience is now more of a differentiator than it's ever been. Don't lose sight of that, because hey, we are in it for the long term. I really hope that did make sense. I'd love to hear your opinions and feedback. Do let me know. And until we share again, take care of each other.